Well, a while ago, I made a video talking about this one lesser known zombie game called Requisition VR. And to summarize, it's a game with a unique crafting mechanic where you can tape together any object in the game to make a zombie killing weapon. Unfortunately, the game itself feels very unfinished and has too many problems for the game to be considered good. But despite that, with how much fun I had with the crafting mechanic, I still look back at the game somewhat positively. In the last video, I said that the game actually has a follow-up, but since it is a Quest exclusive, I decided not to bother with it. Until now. Requisition VR Hunt and Extract is the PC port of that Quest game. It follows the story of survivors who, in the search of a safe haven from the zombie apocalypse, ended up getting trapped and being forced to participate in the Smile Show. Of course, there is the big Hunt and Extract elephant in the room. Requisition VR changed from being a survival game to an extraction shooter. But it's not Tarkov extraction shooters, it's more like Hunt Showdown extraction shooters. What I mean is, the goal of this game is to get the big prizes inside locked safe that is somewhere inside the two available maps, but the game won't tell you the exact location right away. Instead, it shows a big circle of the approximate area the safe could be in. So in order to pin down the safe's location, you will need to gather clues from around the map. Each clue you find will give you one of the 4 digits to the safe and also narrow down the circle. Gather all 4 clues and you will find the safe. But before you can get the prize, you will need to defeat the mini boss. After you defeat it, you can put in the code, unlock the safe, grab the prize, and go to the extraction zone. So yeah, get clue to narrow down the big prizes, and the big prizes is guarded by a boss. This is just Hunt Showdown, but without Post Malone. Let's talk about the positive. There are a lot of fixes from the first game. Some of them are quality of life stuff, like your backpack actually floats midair when you let go, so it is easier to manage your items. Some of them are things that I complained about in the first video, like the ear ringing noise when you take damage being changed, the weapon's durability being easier to notice with the rate grow, the lockers are finally working, and the stuff you put in actually stay, the trap being simplified and getting narrowed down to just one type, so it is more convenient to use. The crafting table is also able to craft more stuff. You can turn anything you don't want into recycled parts, and you use those parts to turn them into items. However, you do need to upgrade it to expand the selection. On the upgrade node, you can upgrade your base so you can buy a machine that produces stuff for you. The only one I can get can turn back into bandages, so it's not too bad. The vending machine is being limited to the pre-game lobby, so now it's just for gearing up before you get into the game. You buy items using money you get from doing stuff around the map and turning in the price. Or instead of scrapping items you don't want, you can just sell them for some cash. The guns are actually customizable now. Not that I can make a Glocky later, but you could put the upgrade on your guns. Ammo are a lot scarcer now, which means crafting and using melee weapon is finally the main stars. Speaking of, they did change the main crafting mechanic. In this game, you can stick 2 items together by joining the blue dot like the original game, with the exception that you don't really have to use the tape to hold it together, but the newly combined item will be at a very low durability, so the tape is still necessary if you want to actually use it. Be careful though, because the tape is now a limited resource. Each roll of tape you find can be used only 10 times. This is an interesting way to put a limit on the crafting system. The tape can also be used to repair a weapon, which is nice because durability matters now, and that is another fix that I complained about before. So with all these good things, what is bad about the game? Well, first of all, the game is supported from Quest, which means that the graphics are gonna suffer. I am usually in a group of gameplay before graphics crowd, that's why I didn't complain about it in my previous video. A lot of the assets are reused, but now they're in the stylized cartoony art style, which would be fine, but most of them are noticeably in a low resolution, and some of the plots appear very blurry. Inside the game, the levels are filled with fog, so it's also hard to see anything. Even compared to the first game, Hunt and Extract just doesn't look good. The sound effects in this game are also in a very low quality, like for example, the hitting noise, the gun's noise that is way too loud, and the first map ambient with a very distracting drone noise. But again though, if the game's fun, then the graphics don't matter. So how is the gameplay? The game is still pretty easy. You could argue that the real difficulty is from fighting other players in the map, but to that I will say, what players? They are now human NPC enemies with guns who usually hang out inside the camp somewhere around the map. They are very easy to deal with and you can even take their guns. That base is probably supposed to be the high risk, highly reward location, but apart from the easy enemies, there aren't any reward. In this game you get loot by opening boxes, but there are like only 2 boxes in the entire base. The box do have a tier system, but most that you will get are usually clothing. They do have stats, so they are not completely useless, and again you can always scrap or sell them, but still, it sucks that they still haven't figured out the loot system in an extraction shooter no less. But the worst thing is that they actually nerfed the crafting mechanic. Apart from the tape being limited, which I think is fine, the items in this game are categorized, and some items of the same type cannot be connected to each other. That and there are fewer connection spots, feel like they put too much limit on arguably the best part of the game. The last nail in the coffin though is AI. That's right, this game used generative AI. The Steam description said that they used it for background music, but it's quite obvious that it's not just that. From literally the first second into the game, where you get hit with the AI voice acting in the intro cutscene.
Whee! Pathetic wimp! We caught you, sucker!
And the AI generated advertisement as soon as you get into the lobby. So yeah, I still believe that you should check out the first game at least once for the fun unique crafting mechanic. I'm sorry to say it, but do not buy this game. With the change to the game direction of becoming an extraction shooter, technically they did bring back the horde mode, but look at this. It's new the crafting mechanic, which again, you can play the first game instead, and with the AI generated asset, it is probably for the best if you stay away. I could be wrong because I'm still new to the game, but like, no, I don't want to play anymore. I have Into the Radius too, and that game I actually want to play. Anyways, that is enough from me. Thank you for making it this far. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you all later.